Hi, welcome to Parent Alienation is Child Abuse Unfiltered. Thank you all for being here today and welcome to all the new subscribers. I thank you all and appreciate every single one of you. Today I'd like to do a quick discussion on what happens when the parents move on and find new partners. This is when things start to become very interesting actually. In some cases you'll find that this one parent will be quite happy that the other parent's moved on and found somebody else and finally let go. And then you'll find the ones that are the narcissists that take their hate onto a whole new level. That's when they start kicking up the withholding visits and saying extra nasty stuff about the opposite parent because they feel betrayed. They feel betrayed, or how dare they move on. Doesn't matter if they've already got another partner, which is quite often the case. It's a case of not knowing what you've got till it's gone syndrome. I can't have you, nobody else can either kind of attitude. I don't want you to be happy. That sort of thing. How does this go with the kids? Kids are stuck in the middle of this as well. The kids are trying to cope with the hustle and bustle of the parents alienating them or just listening to them harsh badmouth the opposite parent. But then they now have to deal with a new person on the scene, a new lady or a new man. And depending on the person, depending on the parenting role that their biological parent has, on how much involvement these step parents, that's what they'll be called, step parents have involvement in the children's upbringing in their lives. It's particularly in the first 6 months. We'll put it down to a 6-month thing. Do they come in and take over the father or mother's role? Does this happen particularly when discipline's happening? Because like I said before in my other video, kids will be lashing out because of what's going on in their lives between their own biological parents. And then to have a new lady or man that they have to now, in some cases, call mum or dad. Some people baffle me the fact that they get someone else's child to call somebody else completely father or mother when it's not their father or mother, particularly when it's early in the relationship. Like, come on, these kids are confused enough without throwing that into it. What happens when that relationship doesn't work out too? Another mother gone, another father gone. Like get real. Anyway, these kids have to deal with the new mother or father or lady, gentleman on the scene. Could be also other kids involved. Now these kids are going through a similar turmoil that these other children are going through. Some kids can connect to each other quite nicely and can like be a backup bone or backup system or just a support person for each other. And then other kids that are very angry about the situation they've been put into can quite often lash out at their new siblings, we'll call them, which creates a lot of conflict in the family. Then the narcissistic parent that couldn't get over the relationship in the first place will use this new family as a way to manipulate and make the child believe that that they were no longer loved, that they're no longer wanted by their father or mother anymore. They've got a new family now. They have new children in their lives. They don't love you. This stuff gets said to kids. And if people are denying that it is, I call out bullshit. Because I have seen this happen. I have heard people say this to their children, that they don't love you anymore. They've got a new family now. You're forgotten about. How do you think that crushes a child? Like, you're going to have to answer that for that one day too. Everything you do is for a child, be it good, be it bad, you have to answer to when they're older. If you've caused an emotional scar on a child because of your own selfish needs, you're going to have to answer for that. And expecting to find a new relationship, like everybody's entitled to be happy, everybody's entitled to be happy. And moving forth and finding someone to love and share love with is an ultimate goal. But when it comes to a child being involved in that, you need to tread carefully. You need to let this child know that you have a new person that you're interested in. Don't get this person to move straight in. don't get this person to let this child call them mother or father. Like, how confusing do you want it to be? Let them get to know each other. Let them, like I said, 6 months, let's give it a 6-month thing. Build the relationship, see how things are going. Maybe have sleepovers. See how things are going. You need to be able to read the room. You need to read how your child's feeling about what's going on, particularly if that child's not having access to their opposite parent. Now, some children that are stuck with a narcissistic parent, and the narcissistic parent happens to find a nice person, be it a lady or a gentleman, to move on with, and that person happens to be a really lovely person, may very well form a close bond to that person. And sometimes the narcissistic parent becomes jealous of that as well, and starts causing a little bit of way to put a bit of a wedge between them, because no one can love them better than their narcissistic parent, can they? That's what they portray to the children. So you need to tread very carefully. Don't get them to call the other parent mother or father straight off the bat. Let that be the child's decision, down the track, when you've been together a year or so, a couple of years even, and you know the relationship's strong, you know that there's a future together with you, and the family unit is a family unit, not just thrusted there and forced to expect to be getting along with each other. Like they're strangers in a strange house with strange people, going through an emotional turmoil in their own little minds, whatever garbage they've been fed about whatever their parents not allowed to be in their life for, and then expected to just to accept a new family as, let's move on, we've got a happy family now. Doesn't work like that. You need to tread carefully, you need to be careful and take consideration of the children's feelings in this. Relationship's not going anywhere. If it's going to be a loving, nurturing relationship together, then it's not going anywhere, and the other person should be equally as involved in wanting to initiate their movement into the family slow and carefully. I think it's important that the children feel like they have a voice in what's going on in their lives, particularly if they're old enough to have a voice. Little kids don't get a voice. Under fives don't have any choice whatsoever. They get dragged wherever they're dragged to and put up with whatever they have to put up with. Children get older and they have a voice. Children should be heard. Children have a right to decide what's happening in their life. They don't have a right to decide who you can go and hang out with. I know one child that had a father, single father, and every time the father met a new girl, she created so much havoc for that person and the father, and so the relationship would never last. This is a codependent relationship where the child became codependent on the father because she was excluded from her mother, because her mother chose to abandon her and move over to the other side of the country. We'll do a discussion about that too, about what happens with children that are left by a parent that doesn't care to be in their lives, because that does happen. Children abandoned by loving parents. They say they love them, but they leave them and don't want to be part of their life or their growth. I'm going to do a video on that because I have had questions about that one, and it's important to cover that as well, because that happens. All the things in a child's life from the age of birth up until they're 18, well, 18, yeah, they're young adults then, and they start thinking a little bit more logical, but they don't really start thinking properly until they're adults. That's when the questions will start coming in and they'll be getting answers. Unless you're fortunate enough to raise a really smart child, and some people do. Some parents are single parents that successfully raise awesome children, amazing kids, and that just shows the strength and the love and the courage in that person to raise a happy, healthy child alone. I did raise 2 children by myself for a while, but I was fortunate enough to find a man that was willing to take me on with all my issues, and we've lived happy ever after. And we have a very strong, loving, nurturing relationship with our children, our grandchildren, and it happens. It can happen. So if you're looking at starting a relationship and having a new person come into your life and you are isolating your children from your other parent, or they can't see them for whatever reason, then please just go slow. Go slow. Both sides go slow, and particularly more if there's children on both sides. Let them get to build a bond before you decide to throw them in the same house together and then expect them all to get along and to follow the same rules. Because what rules you had at your house might be way different to the rules they had at their other house. Anyway, this is just a short one for today. I just want to do that one about what happens when parents move on and find new families. Well, start new families is the right word. Thank you all again for being here. Again, I appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, I welcome you to do so. The more we can talk about it and get people talking about it, the more we can get change happening, and the kids can have a happy life and not a stressful one. Anyway, hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you on my next one. Bye.